So what exactly is the deal with this wild woodpecker? So today let's talk about the custom culture icon that is Mr. Horsepower. There's honestly a lot of myth and legend around this logo, and it's a mascot for Clay Smith cams. Now, Clay Smith got his start in the early 1930s as a young boy working for a guy by the name of Pete Bartrand. Pete actually ran a tune-up shop, an early hot rod shop, in Long Beach, California, who sold hot rod parts and did tune-ups, and on the side, raced. Clay would work for Pete until Pete passed away from pneumonia in 1945. It was then that Clay actually purchased the company, and that's when it became Clay Smith Cams. Now, the story that I had heard was that in the early 1940s, the company had reached out to a fledgling cartoonist to design an actual logo or mascot for the company that they wanted to start putting on all of their racing vehicles, primarily their racing boat. That artist at the time was Walter Lentz, but we'll get back to him in a minute. So as the popularity for Mr. Horsepower's cams and other parts and accessories grew, so did the design. And eventually it grew so much that he had to start using it on other things other than just his race car and boat. So Walter was now working for the studios, and he had now had a great deal of success with a cartoon character by the name of Bugs Bunny. There was a great deal of pressure to go and find another Bugs Bunny. So they started looking at advertising to see what was grabbing people's eye. Walter remembered a little drawing that he had done in the late 1930s. That became Woody Woodpecker. And this wasn't terribly uncommon. Another cartoon character that was used was Felix the Cat, which was based off of a cartoon character used by Felix Chevrolet. Another one was Chilly Willy, was actually based off of a character that got famous from an ice house in Southern California. Then there's Wile E. Coyote. Well, to be perfectly honest, he just came from the fact that Mark Twain just completely hated coyotes. But that's irrelevant. Where was I? Oh yeah. So another mascot that a lot of people get confused by is a mascot from the company Thrush, which honestly looks very similar to the Mr. Horsepower character, but it's turned completely profile, and it doesn't have the characteristic cigar. So in 1954, Clay Smith was killed by a race car that was coming into the pits. His company subsequently got shut down after that. So in the 1960s, Thrush decided that they were going to take the logo, make it their own, and use it on their exhaust line.